Good morning, YouTube. Very good. Just missed the drama outside at Perrex Towers. God. It's bin day around here at Perrex Towers, and we have these wonderful wheelie bins outside, and somebody hadn't put the right thing in the wheelie bin, and they had a big sticker on it which says that they're not going to go and collect it today. I really need lockdown to get over and finished. I really do. Seriously. I'm excited by the bin men. Anyhow, I'm also excited about this morning. This morning, change of ukulele. I've actually got the old battered one, which I mostly do all the recording on the website on UkuleleRocks. Most of the backing tracks are all done using this bashed and battered old Macala tenor, and I do really, really like it, and I really recommend them as well. They're really good, nice instruments, decent set of strings on them. I think these are Aquila Lava at the moment. They're very soft and very, very gentle. Very gentle strings. But it's been a bit bashed, and it seems really good for today's content, because today we're going to be looking at the 12-bar blues. And it's also the first of the more advanced workshops. So today might be a little bit tricky. You might be doing a little bit of pausing and a bit of rewinding and a bit of sorting out this morning. At a later date, perhaps. Don't panic about it. So first things first. Got your ukuleles? Just a quick check. Make sure they're in tune. Says he. How's that? Sound all right? Yeah, I think that's about right. Now, for everything, all the content in this morning's workshop is, as always, available on the website. However, because this is the first of the advanced workshops, you're going to have to go to the advanced website, and that's very easily got to. And in fact, by the wonders of modern stuff, you can see on the screen behind me here that the website behind me is all in red. I'm not sure if you can just about make that out. It's not perfect, but it's the best we could do. If the ukulele turns red, you know you're on the red website. Basically, on the UkuleleRocks.co.uk, there is a link on the right-hand side. It says Ukulele Rocks More. It's in red. Click on it. Or you can simply type in UkuleleRocksMore.co.uk, and that will get you through to the more advanced website. So we have ukuleles, we have in tune. Have you got your lesson sheet? I put lots of links in it today. It's a big eat because you get 2 sheets for it. And it might help. It might be easier for you, especially if you're coming to this after the live stream, in hindsight. So what are we going to do today? Well, there is a good plan. First of all, we're going to go through the basic 12-bar blues in the key of C. So that means we need chords 1, chord 4, and chord 5 in the key of C. So chord 1 is our chord. I always get this wrong way around. Is chord of C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chord 4 will be F, and chord 5 will be G. So we're going to do the basic chord setup, as you can see on the monitor over there. You'll have to let me know. Somebody let me know in the comments, will you please? Because I'm pretty sure that on my picture, I'm mirrored. But I think when it gets to you on the live stream, I think those letters are the right way around. Roger, let me know. Once we've been through the basic chords, we're then going to change the chords. I'm going to show you a way of changing the chords to make them sound a little bit more bluesy. Very, very simply done. Very easily done. That's the second progression we're going to make. The third progression we're going to make is we're going to teach you how to shuffle them. And you hear, there's lots of different ways to shuffle chords. It's basically when you're doing this. Although we're doing blues, it always reminds me of status quo. It's like a status quo shuffle. I'm going to show you how you can do that, all in the key of C. And then finally, we're going to put some things called runs in. The runs are the way that you link up chord progressions in blues to make them sound a little bit more, those sort of descending little lines. They always sound really impressive when you hear guitarists do them. And I'm no real expert, and there's they've got to stress this from the off, there's lots and lots of different ways to play 12-bar blues, lots and lots of different ways to do it. I'm only doing one version today for you to go away, and then you can experiment with it. You can experiment with your rhythms, your patterns, your arrangements, and just see what you want to do with it. So, enough chat. There's a few backing tracks, bit of playing. Should we get on with it? Good stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is going to go through the basic 12-bar blues pattern. You can see it behind. We need a chord of C, our 1, 2, 3 on the A string, a chord of F, and a chord of G7 for this. We're not going to use G just yet. We're going to use G7. First finger on the second string, second finger on the third string, third finger on the first string, G7. Oh, there is a sneaky C7 sneak in there as well. There's our C7 as well. So to start us off, nice and easy, we're just going to go through it. We're going to play one every 4 beats. So one of those chords every 4 beats. So there's C, 2, 3, 4, second C, 2, 3, 4, etc., etc. Let's start the backing track off. We haven't got any nice man on the pooter this morning. We've got some cymbals that go tish, 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 and then we're in. Okay, so let's try it. This is the very basic way to do it. 2, 3, 4. Third C coming up. C7 now. Change to F. Another F. Back to C. Another C. G7. F. C. And there we go. Simple as that. Happy with that? Good. Right, Roger says, all looks correct to me. The letters are the right way around. Thank you, Roger. I thought they were. Because to me, the mirror in the webcammy thing is back to front. Thank you for letting me know about that. Appreciate that. All right, that was really good. That wasn't too bad, was it? Let's try it again. Exactly the same. C7. Back to C. G7. F. C. And there we go. Okie dokie. So there's our very basic one. So the first progression we're going to make is we're going to change those basic chords, make them sound a little bit more interesting. It's really simple, really easy way of doing it. I'm just going to have a little scroll at this point just to get it set up. There they go. There we go. Oh, no, they don't. Hang on a minute. There we go. That's it. We had 9-bar blues then instead of 12. 9-bar. Oh, just sitting here amusing myself. Okay, 12-bar blues. Now, what we're going to do now is every one of those chords we're going to turn into a 7th chord. So instead of C, we're going to use C7, which is even easier, really. There we go, C7. Instead of F, we're going to use F7. So you set up your chord of F, drop your third finger onto the third string in the third space. I do like that. It's kind of poetic. It's kind of nicely balanced. F7. That chord of F with your third finger, third string, third space. F7. And of course, we still need our G7. But that's as we've just played. Okay. So this time, we can do exactly the same again. We play it once every 4 beats. Nice and easy. The 1, 2, 3, a 4. A 1, 2, 3, a 4. And we'll do it with the backing track because it's a nice, simple backing track. I like the swing to the backing track. It's a bit cymbal heavy, but I like the swing. Let's try it. Ready? C7. Third one. Fourth one. F7. C7. Another C7. G7. Good luck. F7. C7. And there we go. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about the technicalities of changing these chords because we have covered that in previous live streams, but it does strike me that if you've got G7 in place, remember the good old sticky fingers approach. Your first finger doesn't have to move. Don't move it. Change over to that F7, and you've only got those 2 fingers to jump around to change strings. The one thing I don't like about this ukulele, or my other ukulele that I normally use on my live streams, I've got Aquila Nile gut strings on them, and they're white. I always think it's better to see the strings as well. I don't know, we might swap over later. We'll see. Okay, so hopefully that was all right. Let's just bash it through one more time. I can see a few more people are joining us, which is really nice. You're all welcome. Thank you very much. Do give us a shout out and I can give you a call and say hi. And we've just come to our second progression with our 12-bar blues, and that is we've just changed our chords to a 7th sounding and more sort of bluesy style of chord. Let's try it again. C7 and F7, C7, G7, F7, C7. And there we go. Okie dokie. So there we are. So far, so good. Not too bad, not too challenging. Now it's going to get more interesting. It is going to get more interesting. Let me set the screen up behind me, because what we're going to do now, let's just make that a little bit smaller, is we're going to start looking at the old status quo shuffle bit of it. And I like it. I like this. I was trying to think of a way to make this a little bit easier to grasp. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to do a shuffle note on each of these chords, but we're going to change them ever so slightly. So this time, the first chord, instead of it being C, is going to be a chord called C5. Now, again, we've spoken about 5 chords in previous live streams, but just to reiterate it quickly, a C5, a 5th chord, is where there is no third in the chord. Guitarists use them a lot. They call them power chords. And to make a C5 chord, what we're going to do, we're going to do it a special way. We're going to make our usual chord of C at the 3rd fret, but you've noticed we're going to use our 1st finger, because to make C5, you also need the 2nd string stopped at the 3rd fret, and we're going to use the same finger for that. It's kind of called a half bar. A bar chord is when you put your 1st finger across all 4 strings, but we're going to do a half bar just on the A and the E, and that gives us this hard sounding C5. Okay. Now, as well as that, we're going to need our shuffle note. And our shuffle note is going to come on the E string, on the 2nd string, at fret number 5. We're going to use our 3rd finger for that. Don't be tempted to use your 2nd finger. That pulls your hand out to all sorts of shapes. It's not good practice. I always like this idea of, if you're going to gap your fingers, 1 finger per fret. Don't try and stretch them out. And remember, you have got a little finger and you can use it. You're definitely going to use it in a minute. So the fit that you're going to use your 3rd finger at the 5th fret. So we have this C5 and we have this shuffle note, which is the added 6th. Is that right? 4th, 5, G, A, 5. Yes, yeah, it is. The added 6th, A. So we've got the C5, and we're going to put that 3rd finger down. Do have a join in with me. This is the shuffle note. This is how it's going to work. C5, and then the shuffle note, and the 6th. Okay? C5, and the shuffle note there. Lovely. Now, word about this shuffle. Again, there are so many different ways to do your rhythm. This is the right hand we're talking about now, to get this way of shuffling it. Now, we're going to use a down-up, really simple down-up strum. And again, lots of people have different techniques. I'm not going to go into how strumming techniques today. You can use your fingernail to go down and the pad of your finger to come up. You can use your thumb pad to go down. You can use your finger to come up. You can do all sorts. You can use your fingernail to go down, your thumbnail to come up, whatever's comfortable to you. I kind of do fingernail down, thumbnail up an awful lot of the time, I've got to admit. But again, I don't mind. I try and practice all of them so I can make a choice. Good tip. Practice all of them, make a choice. So when we do our shuffle, the pattern we're going to do is we're going to do this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you've noticed I've killed the strings because I'm not worried about this hand. I'm concentrating on this. Why don't you try it with me? We'll try it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, That goes with the shuffle with a C5. Remember, we barred it at the 3rd fret, half bar, sorry, I should say, at the 3rd fret. And your 3rd finger is going to come into fret number 5. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you see how it's going to work. Every beat, we're going to put that shuffle finger down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Have a go with me. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4 and. Oh, came off too soon on the and. That's all right. So that's our C shuffle. You see how that works? Now let's learn the shuffles for the other chords we're going to need in these 12-bar blues. The F shuffle, you need a chord of F, and your shuffle note is going to be your 3rd finger again. And this way, you're going to just squash it in a little bit on the C string, string number 3, in the 2nd fret. So we have our chord of F, and then our shuffle note, the 3rd finger into the 2nd fret. Make sure you're happy with that. Make sure it's landing nicely. You might have to pull your 2nd finger back in that fret just to give yourself a bit of space. I am. You might not. I need to. There we go. So let's try our shuffle now on F with our down 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Got the idea of that? Okay, it's getting tricky, isn't it? I like a bit of a challenge. It's good. And here's your biggest challenge, because now we have to do the G shuffle. Now it's not G7 anymore. We're going to use a chord of G, because this is kind of like a major feel shuffle. We're not going to use the 7s, no minors. And a chord of G should be your 2nd finger on the A string in the 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the 2nd string in the 3rd fret, and your 1st finger on the C string in the 2nd fret. You've got this nice triangle shape. It's called a G. Now, you're going to hate this, but this is how it works, and this is why we practice as an instrument. You're going to shuffle with your little finger. Yes, you know that finger nobody uses. And it's going to be nice and tall, and it's going to hit your C string. It's not going to go flat, because then you're going to get this horrible. Actually, in my lessons, we call them chickens, you know. Chickens. We don't want any chickens. When your finger fouls the other string. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep it nice and tall, and it's going to hit the 4th fret on the C string. There's the chord of G. There's the shuffle note. Again, we're looking at adding the 6th into the chord, so that's an E if you want to get very technical about it. So there's the G chord. Your little finger goes down onto the 4th string. Now, that might be a bit of a challenge, I've got to say. But again, like I always said, this is why we practice our instruments. It's always a challenge. So let's try and put that shuffle in with that dodgy old little finger. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3. Good luck. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Stop. I'm sorry. I was losing it then. Rob's complaining about it. Thank you, Rob. That's really made me laugh. Rob said in the comments, in case you can't see the comments where you are at the moment, Rob, oh, come on, my fingers are tied in knots. Well, like I said, this is why we practice. All right. Again, we're doing it nice and slowly. Okay. So that's shuffle there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we need to do now? We need to put them all together. So let's see if we can scroll down. Have I got where's my, I haven't got the whole thing on it. Okay, how dreadful. Let's go back up to our basic one then. Let's make it a little bit bigger for us all to see. Okay. And now we're going to try and put our shuffles in. to go with a 12 bar. Now, don't worry if this seems a little excessive. If you're struggling with it, do what you can at this stage. And if it's just the C1, stay on the C chord, stay on the C5 to do the C5 shuffle. Okay, when you get a bit more confident, maybe have a hop down to do the F and then back to the C5. To get to the G is a little tricky, I've got to say. But again, not too bad. I've got a top tip for you to get into the C5 as well. So let's try it. First of all, super slow. Shuffle, 12 bar blues from a C. Ready? No backing track, nice and slow. Oh, and the doorbell's going to go. I can just feel it. And I'm on my own in the house. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. We might get interrupted. Oh, there we go. Oh, my goodness me. All right. Service is suspended for exactly 2 seconds. 1 moment, please. You can listen to me talk to the nice man delivering the packages. Oh, my word. Thank you. I'm excited. And none of it was for me. Hello, I'm back. The things you do in live stream. Oh, my goodness me. All right, so you had a bit of extra practice time. I went to speak to the nice DPD delivery man, who I'm sure are on first name terms at this point. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, yes. All right, so here we go. Let's work our way. We're going to shuffle through. Do you want a quick practice? Okay, so as we always say, teach your fingers first. There's the C5 shuffle with your third finger landing into the 5th fret on the 2nd string, the F shuffle, your basic F chord, and your 3rd finger landing on the 2nd fret on the C string, and then the G, your basic G shape, your 1, 2, 3 triangle G shape, and your 3rd finger over onto the C string in the 4th fret. I'll give you that as a challenge. And the other thing to do, of course, if you're feeling these shuffles are a little bit difficult, just go for the basic shapes. Because as long as you've got your basic shapes, you'll start teaching that muscle memory to your hands. Right, let's go. C5, 1 and 2 and 3, and shuffle. There we go. Nice and simple. Don't worry about counting. I'll count you into the F. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and F. And there we go. Back to the C. And the G. Here we go. Onto the G. Down to the F. Up to the C5. How's that? All right, try it. Like I said, just keep practicing it. We are going to do it the backing track because I'm sure I've got some of my resident experts on. I'm sure. So we're going to do it at speed, at tempo with that shuffle now. Okay, good luck. Let's put the backing track on. Same backing tracks. Ready? 1, 2, down to F. Back to C. G. F. C. It is tricky at tempo, isn't it? It is tricky at tempo. But again, it's all there on the website. Do print it out. Do go look for it. And now, here we go. You thought that was tricky. The progression, the runs. This is progression number 4. This is the good bit. This is the bit where I know some of you come along to see. How to link those chords together. So, for instance, when we leave the C chord at the end of the first line, and we go to F, instead of just jumping to it, we're going to miss out the last C chord. We're going to miss out those last 4 beats, and we're going to put a run in instead. A progressive. I just put my teeth in. A progressive run. There you go. And we're going to progress downwards. Now, to do that, we're going to change our fingering. Rob, you're going to love this. You're going to change your fingering for the C5. And instead of doing that half bar, you're going to change it to your little finger. See, you've got to use this little finger onto the C, onto the third fret, and your third finger into the third fret on the second string. So we've still got that same C5, but instead of doing the half bar that we've been using for the shuffle, we're going to land down onto finger 4 and finger 3. Okay? Because we're then going to do our run down the E string. There's the first shape. Then we're going to lift our third finger up, go to the second fret. Try and get the other fingers out of the way to show you. Down to the first fret, down to the open string. And that's our first run, our first progression. There it is again. That C5 shape with our little finger and our third finger. Lift it up. I forgot to look in the screen then. I was busy looking at my fingers. Did you see it? There we go. Yeah, good. Take second fret, first fret, open string. Okay. Try that with me. So I always say this. Try that with me. Like I'm waiting for you to actually wait for me to count to 4. I'm sure you've been trying it already. It's like being in class. You can sneak. You don't actually have to be quiet while I'm talking. 3, down to 2, down to 1, open, and then onto the D F shuffle. So let's just see if we can do it. We're going to do a C shuffle. We'll do it for 1 bar. Then we're going to change position and do the run, and we're going to go to the F shuffle for 1 bar. Let's see if that works out. Ready? Super slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Here's the run. Change position. Downwards onto the F. How's that? We'll stop that F because that F's not the point. It is quite tricky to get from that half bar to the third. I tell you what I do a lot to make it a little easier. I try and keep some contact with the string. When I'm changing and I'm going backwards, that first finger is actually sliding down the E string, and it just keeps contact. Instead of going like that and thinking, where's it got to? This is quite tricky to try and get these fingers in. It just gives a little bit of a marker, a bit of an anchor point. Slide first finger down. And again, if you can get these clammed together and put them down together, that might help you as well. Let's try that C shuffle, the run, going to the F shuffle. Let's see if we can do that. 1 and 2, a 3, a 4, a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Here's the run. Change position. Run down. F shuffle. There we go. Okay. Now there is an F run as well that connects the F chords. You can see over here back to the C chord. You'd be glad to know that's a lot easier. We want the F shape. First finger, second finger, and your third finger on the third string in the second fret to make the shuffle. And then to move up, you're going to do the open string. This is the run, sorry, I should say, not move up, the run, the F run. Open string, second fret, slide up to the third fret, fourth finger, again. So that's our run. That's our 4 notes in our F run. Open string, C, which is there anyhow. Third finger in the second fret. Slide up, third fret. Fourth finger, fourth fret. And back to that C5. Okay, so let's try that. Let's try the F run. Back to the C5, just the F run, back to the C5. I remember that little trick. What is up with these teeth today? This trick. of sliding. Keep your finger in contact with the strings. It'll just slow things down and make it a bit easier for you. All right, so here we go. F chord, 1, 2, a run, and down, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... How's that? Let's try it again. Chord of F, okay? We're working really hard today. Well done, everybody. F chord, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and second, third, fourth, C5. Happy with that? Okay, so you know what we've got to do now? We've got to put the C shuffle in, then the C run down to the F, the F shuffle in, and then the F run back to the C5. Okay, I'll count you through it. Count you through it. We'll try it. Ready? Here we go. C5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do the whole of the first line. So C shuffle. Ready? Here's the run coming up. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3. F shuffle. That's it. Here's the F run. 2, 3, 4. Back to the C5. So there we go. That's the first of the 2 lines done. Pretty good going. Now, you'll be glad to know that G to F in this version today hasn't got a shuffle. It hasn't got a run. So, God, my words. Hasn't got a run. Because we're getting ready for the massive end run. Now, this is the one that if you saw last week's live stream, I was in company last week, and I was with my good friend Magic Ian. And Magic Ian says, oh, you have to show me how to do that run at the end. It's the famous... And that's what we're going to learn right now. So the end run, and it's actually the same. It starts the same as the C run that we've just learned. We're just going to extend it a little bit. So again, C5 with your 4th finger and your 3rd finger. Back to your 2nd finger. Already done this. Back to your 1st finger. Open string. But to extend it, because it's going to be a 2-bar run, we're going to go onto the C string and get 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, open. So really all we're doing is going 3, 2, 1 on the E string, 3, 2, 1 on the C string. Okay, we're putting a little bit of rhythm into it. Now the rhythm we're going to do is we're going to do what we call triplets. We're going to do 3s. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to go into 1s on the C string. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Just imagining all your faces going, what? Really? Seriously? It'll be good. It'll be fine. You'll do it fine. Okay, here we go. So let's just try that. 3s on the E string, triplets on the C string. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1 to finish. Okay? Easy. Piece of cake. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. How's that? I'm not even sure I'm counting, to be honest, but I'm sure you got the idea of it. Let's try it one more time. Remember, this is the end run. I'll show you it all written out in a moment. Ready? 1, 2, and 3, and 1, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1. How's that? Getting there? Good. All right. fingers off, give them a rest, give them a break. And let's have a little scroll down on the screen behind me, because now we're almost ready to do a little bit of a finale. Come on, keep going. You see how this lesson took ages to write? I was doing this. Here we go. This is what I'm after. Now, will you just move over that way a bit? No, you won't. Okay, that's as good as it gets. Can I do that a little bit? I can't. Get some more screen glare, dear me. All right. So if you have this is on your second sheet, and it's written out at the bottom here. And it says either shuffle or run after each of the chords to show you how they all fit into the 12-bar blues. So, for instance, on the first line, it says C shuffle, C shuffle, C shuffle, C5 run. Very hard to say C shuffle on the seashore. Okay. Roger, you haven't let us know where you are today. Are you on the seashore? You have to let us know, please. We like to know these things. C shuffle at the start. C5 run. F shuffle. F run. Back to the C shuffle. G shuffle. F shuffle. And then the C5 end run. We put a fancy C7 in as well. This is what we're doing. This is the finale of our workshop this morning. The 12-bar blues plus, okay, C shuffle, C run, F shuffle, F run, C shuffle, G shuffle, good look at that forefinger, F shuffle, and then the C finishing run, the C finishing run, da-da-dee-da-ba-dee-da-ba-dee-da-ba-dee, bam, 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 bam. And you can finish on a fancy C7 if you like it. Got to really. All right, let's try it. Oh, hi, Ernie and Heidi. Good morning. Oh, my new friends from last night. Thank you very much. Nice to see you. So here we go then. We'll try it without the backing track first, and then we'll carry it on in a second. C5, our C shuffle at the start. Ready? Half bar. Super slow. Do it all a bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Good. C shuffle. Nice and steady. So here's the C run. Here we go. And down to the F shuffle. F run. Back to C5. And that shuffle again. And the bin men here. Morning, bin men. G5 shuffle. G shuffle. Here we go. F shuffle. And here's the big finish. And a C7. Okay. Now, how was that? Nice and steady. Nice and steady. Good. Let's do it one more time. Nice and steady. And then we'll put the backing track on and we'll finish on a high. Here we go. So back to the C5. We'll do the C5 shuffle. Nice and steady. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. There we go. Lovely. It's working nicely. Right, C5 run. F shuffle. There we go. F run. C shuffle. G shuffle. F shuffle. C ending. C7. Okay, so we come to that point. It's time to do it with a backing track. Now, this might be quite a challenge to get that shuffle going and to get the runs in. I know somebody around here had to practice it a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I had to give it a little bit of practice, but again, I can't say it enough. When you get back to that C5, it really does help if you try and keep contact with the string. Don't think that you have to do jumps to change your chords. Keep contact with the string, slide up, and it'll just slow that movement down a little bit while your muscle memory is sort of working out and remembering where the third fret is on your ukulele. You can't stress that enough. We've got to make these things, we've got to practice our instruments, but if there's an easier way or there's a way to help us do it, we're going to try them. All right, C5, here we go. With the backing track, all in. Good luck. After 4. Ready? C5 run. F shuffle. F run. C5 shuffle. G. F shuffle. Big finish. It is quite a challenge, isn't it? Come on, let's do it straight round, straight once again. And remember what I said, if you can't get round all those chords at the moment, stick with one that you're solid with. And I suggest it's the C one, the C shuffle, and wait for the pattern to keep coming round to them. Then when you're getting better, add another chord into it, add the F shuffle into it, and back to it. And when you're getting ready to rock it, get to the G, put the G one in. The G one is the trickiest one with that little finger. In it, Rob? Yeah, tricky. Let's try it again with the backing track. 2, 3, 4. Run. F shuffle, good. G shuffle. F shuffle. Here we go. There we go. Now, just to finish, at the very bottom of the sheet on the page, on the lesson on the website, you will see there is a final challenge. Now, on there is the standard, my world famous backing track that we use for the 12 bar in C. This one. It might be a bit loud. Oh, yes, it's a bit loud. Sorry, turn it down. There we go. Okay. Now, if you have a look at that, there is a way that we can do everything we've done today into that backing track, because that backing track repeats the 12 bar 5 times. So, for instance, I am suggesting on the lesson on the website, first of all, you do it through with your basic chords. Then you do it going through with the sevenths, not the basic chords, the seventh chords. Then do it through just your shuffle pattern. And then do it with a shuffle pattern and those runs to connect the chords in. Okay, I must stress this isn't the nth degree on 12 bar. There are so many different ways of doing 12 bar. You can shuffle it in different places. You put your little finger in. So many different ways to do them. This is just one way to do them, and it's the very basic sort of way to run it today. I have to say, I had a lot of fun doing that. It was good. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of fun. Roger's made a lovely point. He said it's good. He said, come a long way from grumbling elephants. He's referring to our open string piece called All Elephants Can Grumble, which is a really great little beginner's piece. I like that piece, Roger. Don't you be dissing my elephants. I like my elephants. He's not dissing the elephants. But I do like that piece. And it's nice sometimes to do some more of this. Just checking in. Rob says, brilliant challenge in. Thank goodness for catch up, Rob. Yes. But I've always said that this is not the end of it. Do go back. Do have a look. I think it usually takes a few hours for YouTube to save it onto the YouTube, UkuleleRocks YouTube. And it is actually called UkuleleRocks YouTube. You can search for it there. You can go over it again if you so wish. And I kind of lost you after the C run due to small child needing. looking forward to writing this. Oh dear, Heidi, the problems we have. I mean, I had the postman, you've got small old Ernie there and needing food, apparently. That's okay. You've got to feed these things. Got to feed them. Next week, we're going to do another advanced workshop next week. On Thursday, there is a repeat of this workshop. So if you'd like to come and join me live and do it again live on Thursday, come along and have a go at it. Next week, I'm going to do an introduction to something else I get asked a lot about, and that is finger picking. Finger picking is basically when you use more than just one finger in not to strum the chords. In other words, not to play more than 2 or 3 at the same time. You play the chords one at a time. So this is called finger picking. So that's what we're going to do next week. I'm going to do an introduction to finger picking. And that lesson is already written. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you for a lot of fun this morning. It's been a long workshop this morning. I hope you managed to keep up, and I hope you visited it back. Everything you need, UkuleleRocks.co.uk. It's all free. Please download the lesson sheets. It's much easier with the lesson sheets. I'm sure of it. Enjoy the backing tracks. Have a lovely wet Tuesday. It's wet down here in the middle. I don't know wherever you are in the world. I hope you're okay. I hope you're well. I hope it's not that wet. It's all right. I went out earlier. It was lovely. Started running this morning. It was really good. It was nice. Anyhow, been good fun this morning. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that today. Ta-ra.